Alright guys, welcome back to you special. We are the Institute of Financial Management and Research in Nungambakam here, and we're discussing the union budget. We had a good discussion about subsidies versus the fiscal deficit conflict. But now I think we should move on to inflation and price rise. You know, it's been, Aam Aadmi budget and all that. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? Yep.
Okay. Budget 2010 has always been touted as a people-friendly budget, okay? But it has given certain impetus to infrastructure development, etc., the increase in tax slabs, etc. But the main point is how much it has given an impetus to food inflation. Food inflation has increased to 18% right now, and the price of potatoes, even every day we are consuming potatoes, right? I mean, it has increased to 38%. So what all actions he has taken to cut food inflation? Okay, he has increased the excise tax to 2%, but he has reduced the service tax for cereals and pulses by an equal amount. So it was essentially a balancing act. Nothing was done to reduce food inflation. So the point to be made is it a short-term or a long-term policy? I mean, to reduce the inflationary environment in India.
All right. Okay.
I think our finance minister, although he has reduced the tax slabs and there's more disposable income in the hands of Aam Aadmi, but he has not looked into the inflation figures, because the inflation is going to go up and then the real value of money is going to go down. So I'll say we people are being fooled out, because although we have more disposable income, but the value of money is going to go down. So if we see we are nowhere, because there's nothing being done about the inflation numbers. It's going to go up with the petroleum prices going up, food price inflation going up.
In fact, yeah, the first time the opposition have worked out.
So we got to look into it, I think, very deeply.
Okay, so you're saying the opposition is not all that wrong in working out. Okay.
I also have a point here to make, and there looks to be irony when you talk about tax and you talk about the other thing. The tax now has been increased to 1.6 lakhs, and there would be no taxes in that. And that looks to be because it's covering majority of the people, all the middle class society has been included in that. Almost 60% people comes into that category. So it looks nice. But when you talk about inflation, as she said, that 18% is the food inflation. Even the finance minister agreed that in the coming days, that would be the whole inflation would be running close to double digits. So they didn't have taken that much steps in that side, and the budget doesn't clearly shows that how they are going to deal with it.
I need to add a point here which is little contradictory. There is one point in the budget which says the transportation of food products, the tax on it is going to be low. So even if we see there's an excise duty on petroleum which has increased the price, it is still not going to affect the food price inflation that much.
That's what, it's going to balance out. It's going to negate each other's effects. There's nothing to reduce it, that's what.
Okay, but contrary to that, when tax slab is for 1.6 lakh to 3 lakhs has not benefited those group of individuals. So, and also there is an increase in inflation. So it's a little bit contradicting to each other when those poor people are not getting the benefits of this taxation, and again the food prices are rising. So it's not a balancing act.
But at the same time, the RBI has increased the rate, which will actually take out the extra money available in the market, which will in long term will decrease the inflation, which will reduce the inflation in coming 6 months. So looking to both the side, it will actually.
So you think what Pranab Mukherjee has done can work out?
Yeah, it can work out in 6 to 8 months.
Months, not immediately.
What point I want to make is that Pranab Mukherjee, on the face of it, has shown that he's getting rupees 26,000 crore loss by relaxing the tax slabs. But actually, what has happened is that in the year 2008-9 and the subsequent year 2009-8, the non-planned expenditure was increased by 37%. But now in this last year, it's only increased by 6%. Now, what it constitutes of is the pay commission, the pay dues that he has. Now, what happened in the last year was that because of the economy was not on a rise, but still the demand was high because people had that money in their hands. Right now, he's taking that money out of their hands, and on the contrary, he's saying that because of the tax slabs, we'll have it will be more in the hands of the people. But what I say is actually not. He's taking money out of the hands of the people. That's what I want to say.
Okay, fine.
I have another point to make, that is regarding this food price inflation. It's more on the supply side phenomena. I think we have to more look into that particular aspect, like regarding edible oil, pulses and sugar, I think there's more of shortage. So if we look into that particular aspect, and even regarding your speculation, these things has to come down. I think if we are able to do that, we'll be able to curtail and bring down our inflation
A bit
rates
more.
a bit.
All right. Okay.
Well, friends, I think this food inflation is not merely the consequence or the cause by this monetary budget only. We have to concentrate on some other factors. Like number one, the imports of the food grains. Our import policy is not correct. Second thing, our buffering policy. These two issues, if we address, so that is going to bring the permanent effect in the economy and it will permanently check the food inflation rather than concentrating on the momentary actions taken in the budgets.
All right.
But on the contrary part, we have to look into the basic necessities of life, and food is one among them. We cannot negate that. We cannot talk about import and exports, leaving foods alone. I don't think so. We should have taken some steps in the budget and should try to come down the inflation of food as well.
Yeah, the point he's making is that food is not any other commodity. You have to take certain extra steps because people get hungry at the end of the day.
Well, friends, my point is that when we are nicely hit by the drought, there is extreme dearth of the food grains sufficiency in the country. In that case, we have to depend on the imports.
All right. Okay. Anyway, see, one more point is that some people are of the opinion that through taxation, he's made it an Aam Aadmi budget. What do you think about that? Okay. Yeah. Please. Yeah.
The point that I said earlier was actually he has taken out money from the hands of the people.
Yeah, leaving all this excess rate and service rate aside and concentrating on the increase of the tax slabs, he has given more purchasing power for the people, right? So what's your take on that?
What do you have to say about her point that she's just actually taken he's only taken money out of the people's hands?
Yeah, but I think he has given more purchasing power for the people as well. It's not like taking money out of their hands.
One point I would like to make is that the purchasing power that we are talking about 50,000 has only been given to people who have got income 8 lakh and above. For rural people, there has not been something like that, and if we take into account the rural waiver off and the NEGRA things he has given 40,000, then probably we can say that.
I agree with that because for the common man, Aam Aadmi, we're talking about somebody earning less than 1.6. But the benefits, the widening of tax slab is for people who are earning much beyond that and up to 5 lakhs. So basically, it's more of a middle class person budget, and they are in a better off position.
So you do think it's an Aam Aadmi budget?
No, I don't.
You don't? Okay, fine.
I think the only benefits that are accruing to the rural sector is through subsidies, a little decrease in the interest rate on the farm loans that the rural people have taken, and the extension that they're getting of 1 year in repayment. Besides that, any substantial boost that is given to agricultural production and efficiency, that's something that can really enhance the income in their hands, rather than taking a longer route to improve.
All right. Okay, I think I have to take a break here. Clearly, one thing I think I can understand from all of you is you don't think, I know you have a lot of talk, wait, I'll give you the chance. You don't think that it's really an Aam Aadmi budget, and as someone said, he's tried to fool the nation. Anyway, we'll get on to that and much more after this short break on NDTV Hindu.